Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Crater between the Carbon team on the left side. It is ichan in the Classic Helix and UncleGrimmley in the Shark Helix. So we have a double Helix team. I don't know if I've seen that. I haven't seen that in a while, actually. And their opponents, they're the blue team on the right side. It is MysticLlama in the Tomcat Striker and Overkill2142 in the Prime Helix. So a lot of helices, I think that's the plural, in this game right now. So, and the one striker. This is a very high tier game, I would say. I mean, not like insanely high tier, but these are extremely experienced veteran players, and we will definitely, well, I was going to say we are definitely going to be in for a treat, but you never really know, especially in air freaking mech. But both teams going very standard center, killing their T-45, neutralizing their middle outpost creeps. And so we do see Overkill already starting on the bottom fight, going for the outpost neutralization first, which is probably the right call, and he does get the first two creeps knocked down. Whereas it does look like, who was that? That was UncleGrimmley gonna go for the Gaddy first, so and is actually going for bottom himself, so which is actually the opposite. Oh my god, that was hilarious! A giant buggy head, which is actually the opposite outpost of this one, because this is an asymmetric, not exactly mirrored map right now. ichan UncleGrimmley now going for the top. So both teams very rapidly neutralizing their side, but again going very standard and killing their outposts first, or their maps sides outposts first, taking them under their control so they can't get those outpost benefits to benefit them in the mid-fight. Now Flacker actually taking down MysticLlama. I'm not really sure where that happened. Let's see, is there any mech debris? I'm gonna assume it was, I don't really care. Yeah, so that will give Carbon team a pretty solid lead in the mid-fight. UncleGrimmley and ichan with a ton of tanks, a nice mix of Dillos and Gemini, but although the Gemini are actually leading, heavy mines on the bottom lane for the blue team. It does look like Overkill, I think, put that down, and but yeah, the Carbon team is going to have a humongous lead in this mid fight. They could probably even just push right through, although the blue team is okay. I was gonna say pushing top, but those blue dots were more mines and some creeps moving. So the Carbon team will have a very strong hold of middle outpost right now. The blue team were just lagging too far behind, and MysticLlama with that early neutral Flacker kill. I'm not sure if he was actually... Okay, yeah, there are Flackers up here at the top right outpost, so... But either way, 25 to 36 units on the field, 35 to 38, so pretty even in terms of upkeep. UncleGrimmley and ichan just moving forward extremely aggressively, but this is going to be a 2-on-1 mech battle right here, and ichan actually getting focused down by MysticLlama, so it will be a 1v2 regardless of who chooses to participate in the battle right now. And it does look like a couple of units were lost for the Carbon side, but it's not a huge deal. Even one unit was lost by the blue team, so it is still going to be pretty even, 43 to 38. At this point in time, creeps moving all. I mean, I don't know. This seems weird. I'm not really sure how they get there. But ichan with a couple creeps. I don't know if he was intending to try to cheese or just for harass purposes, but did draw Overkill down there for the battle. But Overkill is not going to be distracted for that long. Kind of, that's sort of a sign of a veteran player. You don't really get too distracted by the obvious distractions and stuff like that. Don't try to over-defend, stuff like that. A single Seeker getting dropped over here, which is kind of strange. It looks like UncleGrimmley is looking for the focus on Overkill right now, but he's not going to get it. Is MysticLlama... Oh, what is this? Is this creeps? No, that is Jackals. So Jackals will be attacking the top outpost. MysticLlama did set those to capture, I guess, and he has been able to neutralize and take that outpost with a simple Jackal push with creeps. And then runners, I guess, are also here. The Jackals will keep going. He set those on T, so this will probably get neutralized as well. So he is forcing the Carbon team to split their attention, while Overkill freely grenades like crazy over here in the middle outpost fight. So, this is at very low cost for the blue team. Just a couple Jackals and infantry, whereas this is, even if the blue team loses less credit units, or credits worth of units in this exchange, the amount of time that MysticLlama has drawn the Carbon team away from the mid-fight is actually pretty significant. Artillery pointing in already, and again, Overkill just grenading like crazy. I would assume nothing but grenades, missiles/grenades upgrades, and that is what happened. And ichan still dealing with those Jackals. This amount of time that, and this credit loss right here with that middle outpost now just finally getting taken back under control is pretty significant. Although Overkill is being forced back, UncleGrimmley with a couple tanks here But another bottom or another side push by MysticLlama, pretty much the exact same thing. It is going to be Jackals and runners following. Is he going to, yes, distract or body block with his mech and do more damage? But will this actually hold here? Will he just continue to go? Bunkering Sam's once again forcing both ichan and UncleGrimmley to react. So once again, both Carbon players are away from the mid battle, which basically, how many others? There's just one Ratchet over here. So the artillery pounding away at those, at those units for the Carbon team at the middle outpost. Or at least at the, I don't know, advanced post. It's leapfrogged a little bit forward here. But MysticLlama still creating a lot of chaos over here on the left side of the map, and actually has been able to hold the bottom left outpost here. Will go down to neutral pretty quick with this amount of units and 2 enemy mechs, but this is a very, very significant distraction by MysticLlama, and a lot of softened units over here. Okay, a couple more patchers and yeah, more healing units dropped by the Carbon team, and UncleGrimmley quick to respond back to the battle. MysticLlama still has this middle outpost neutralized. It is 62 to 52, so the Carbon team is unit capped because of these outposts that have remained neutral, so they cannot continue to produce reinforcements, whereas the blue team, I guess, could if they should see fit, but as of right now, still struggling with this mid fight, not even at the middle outpost area. UncleGrimmley and ichan now both back to the fight, both Helix. So they can, okay, again, another bottom push with Jackals, and this hasn't even been, taken back under their control. So again, the credit difference is pretty significant. 61 out of 66 for the Carbon team, and 64 out of 66 for the blue team. And again, another Jackal rush, not going to be able to neutralize here, as it was not set on capture or hold when it got to that middle out, or to that bottom left outpost. But MysticLlama now here at the top. What does he have in build queue? Can't really tell. I guess 4 runners, but this has not been able to been held by the blue team or even taken, although the neutralization happened. And now we do have a bottom push by the Carbon team. The mid fight is still pretty stale and stagnant, but the bottom push is coming, although there are a lot of heavy mines there, and the Jackals over here, ichan forced to deal with them as they have no fort defense, and actually the fort health has been knocked down to almost half, and a lot of units will be killed by these heavy mines. Boom, a lot of damage done. And Overkill does realize this push is happening, so will support it with his mech, while MysticLlama continues to fly around the map, creating a lot of chaos for the Carbon team, and all those Carbon tanks were lost. UncleGrimmley not able to save any of them. A few Dillos will be lost as well, as Overkill has not grabbed the strays, but it is that is definitely an overall win for the blue team. Overkill now gonna continue focusing on the middle outpost fight, or on the mid fight, if you can even call it that. It's more of a between these two posts here, because the Carbon team has been able to advance to this the right side of this gap over here, where ichan now is going to try to neutralize a lot of bunkered creeps though, or a lot of bunkered infantry. So that will not actually happen. Both mechs actually responding, and ichan almost getting finished off before he got back to the middle outpost. Not getting killed though. Middle outpost saving him. But yeah, okay, 74 to 66. And another, oh god, there's so many side pushes by MysticLlama right now that I just missed this one. Another neutralization, and more damage going to be dealt to the fort by those Jackals. ichan really, really needs to body block, and there you go, he has. But MysticLlama, okay, I thought Overkill was over here as well, but will Overkill, okay, Overkill now doing a top push. Gangster's going to be in the mix, so that's going to be much more devastating than just the Jackals. UncleGrimmley again forced to deal with another bottom push, or another side push by MysticLlama. ichan does spot this top push, but how will he choose to defend? There are a lot of units over here, and it will be supported by Overkill with a couple of Beppo probes in tow, which is hilarious. Will he be able to get this neutralization? I'm not sure. MysticLlama socketing a couple of Whoppers because they definitely need to be able to build more units. Will this neutralization happen? It does not look like it will. Plenty of bunkered infantry, jumpers, in fact. Oh, well, ichan leaving the fight. Okay, UncleGrimmley and ichan are both here to react, while MysticLlama and Overkill are going to be sniping as many units as they can over here. Overkill with a ton of grenades, and MysticLlama supporting with his, own mech's fire, so focusing down a couple of units. MysticLlama surviving that, getting himself away there with his afterburners, I think. Yes, definitely has afterburners. Any responsible high-tier striker player will have this type of mix of abilities. Maybe a little bit less in a sword and a little bit more point saving to dump into missiles. And actually, we do have a team wipe by the blue team. The Carbon team has no unit presence or no mech presence right now, so there will be significant losses by the blue team, or caused by the blue team right now. I think. No, not much. Okay, UncleGrimmley now coming back to the fight. I think that was one of the... Yeah, so, I mean, deaths in the more recent iterations of AirMech meta, and actually UncleGrimmley focusing Overkill there. But yeah, deaths in the more recent iterations of AirMech meta have been way less significant, just because I think respawn time has been significantly reduced. So even, I would consider this already in the late game, especially level 9. Pretty much every unit except for Nuke is available to be built. Surprisingly, we don't see any goalies or okay, there is one goalie or two goalies by the blue team. But yeah, not as many as I would expect. Not as many late game units as I would expect. ichan gonna attempt a top push, but being responded to by 2 mechs is going to be shut down pretty quickly. MysticLlama, oh my god, they even ferried a T99 over here. That is ridiculous. But yeah, we'll all be lost due to the mech response. Great minimap awareness by the blue team, and now it does look like ichan will shift his focus to the bottom. But again, great mech response by MysticLlama, killing those jumpers, but getting himself killed as well. So this might actually be neutralized. And UncleGrimmley also actually got killed by Overkill off cam over there at the top fight. But now Overkill is here to respond to ichan, and okay, now it does look like Overkill is the only player left on the field. MysticLlama now respawning, but the blue team might be able to have a chance at making a comeback in this fight at this point. It is 71-61, so the upkeep is not, you know, grossly in favor of the Carbon team at this point. And with the late game units like Berthas that the blue team has chosen to bring out at this point, the Carbon team's actually not looking so hot. The unit clump here could be ferried over or even pushed out, as there are basically no fort defense for the blue team, as you would kind of expect in a normal high-tier game. You know, you don't really put defense until you need it, because you want to allocate all of your resources, all of your offensive capability to the frontline battle as much as freaking possible. ichan flying over those hats. I really dislike neutral hats personally. Okay, now we do have a Jackal and Flacker push. ichan gonna try to deal with this, dropping his Minecraft creepers, which are the same thing as boomers, but they do get killed pretty quickly by the Jackals. And both orange players, or both Carbon players, are going to have to be dealing with this push, while the blue team is basically making this unit clump evaporate. They could actually get a neutralization on mid, which would be a huge thing to cut off for the blue team. And it does look like Overkill has chosen the least defended post and will push it to here. However, with 2 enemy mechs, they will not really do much, but Overkill now does realize middle is completely 100% undefended on the left side. There's barely any defenses on the right side, and does look like Overkill and MysticLlama will start to clear out the middle units over here. It's 59-56, so they are actually slightly ahead. Or no, so okay, I mean the Carbon team was only slightly ahead. Wow, very poor choice of phrasing there. But either way, MysticLlama and Overkill forcing ichan and UncleGrimmley to pull back to the middle outpost from that more forward position, and actually a double kill by Overkill. ichan getting focused by MysticLlama and Overkill. MysticLlama scouting around. Oh man, I did not even realize, but he has 4 radar guardians. Radar guardians are something that you pretty much never see nowadays, with MysticLlama choosing to do so. Thank God he's on Crater, I guess. But the blue team now has been able to push the Carbon team back to the middle outpost, and the upkeep is actually exactly even right now, 71-71. It does look like ichan is pushing the top with a goalie and a couple of Gemini, but again, extremely quickly reacted to by the blue team, and ichan getting himself killed there, just staying in the area, really committing to that attack, and Overkill actually getting himself killed as well. So UncleGrimmley might actually manage the neutralization here, but MysticLlama quick to react. Afterburners make you so freaking fast, and that Goliath, and oh no! Oh man, the Seeker doing a lot of damage, and MysticLlama himself actually getting killed. So UncleGrimmley might actually be able to make this happen. ichan in support with a couple of creeps, a little bit too early because the neutralization has not happened yet, and a couple of goalies being dropped by Overkill. The neutralization happened, but one of the creeps did die, and ichan getting himself finished off there. UncleGrimmley actually low on health, and Overkill. Oh my god, the amount of deaths in this game is insanity. But MysticLlama retaking that top right outpost, so the blue team will be able to hold 4 now. It is 59-64, so the blue team, for the first time in the game, I think, or at least for the first time since early game, is pretty ahead in upkeep. Although they have a lower max upkeep, they were able to get a max of 75 thanks to the Whoppers they have on the field. So ichan trying to get a neutralization on this bottom right corner, on this bottom right outpost. UncleGrimmley, will he come in support? Does look like he will, but they have another Jackal push to deal with, although this one is going to be dealt with not as, it will be not be as difficult to deal with due to those Gemini sitting there. Will ichan be able to get the neutralization? It does look like he will. There's only 2 more infantry latched over here, whereas Overkill is going to start to leapfrog up his Goliaths, neutralize that middle outpost, and try to clear the rest of the carbon units there in the area. There are no more carbon units down on the bottom right corner, and ichan will not be going back to an outpost under his control, and against 2 mechs, does not survive for very long, and lands and almost got killed by the goalie as well, but MysticLlama getting that final hit. UncleGrimmley pulling back now 62-73. Blue team retaking that bottom right outpost under their control. Will probably take mid sometime soon. They have plenty of units here, especially compared to the lack of units, pretty much 0 units. And MysticLlama now sending another set of Jackals to Fort attack, which will have to be responded to by the Carbon team for sure. Do they even see it on their map yet? No, not quite. ichan desperately trying to get the neutralization here at the middle outpost, and now the Carbon team will hear the damage sound once again, and they are at about a 1/3 health, so this is definitely something that they need to worry about. So one Carbon player will definitely be drawn back to this alert that they are taking more damage, and they are taking, oh no, actually, what the hell killed those? Oh, I think level 4 creeps. Level 4 creeps are insane. So that's what actually killed those. So unfortunately for the blue team, that did not really provide the distraction that it could have earlier in the game due to the insane strength of level 4 creeps, which I really don't agree with the degree of strength. I'd really prefer to have more levels of creeps. Like, why do we need to have an insane power jump from 3 to 4 at 15 minutes where we can have maybe another set of 4 creeps and they ramp up a little bit slower? Because the difference between 3 and 4 is just too high to me. But this is basically everything that the Carbon team has. They're putting their entire stock in this game into this push, and it will definitely plow through here if they chose to do so, but they did not. They chose to stop, which is kind of crazy because there are only 2 goalies defending over there at the top right. If they did realize that, they probably would have been able to get all those cleared, and the Berthas would have been killed as well. Okay, MysticLlama dropping more Jackals, but yes, once again, they will be significantly damaged by level 4 creeps that are walking by. So that kind of sucks. And UncleGrimmley followed and finished off by Overkill2142. ichan doing what he can here at the middle outpost, but the blue team has now been able to assess the situation and is actually handling it very well, putting their goalies at the bottleneck over here, and ichan actually getting finished off. So all these units are just sitting here, moving alone without any mech support, so that is very dangerous, and these will move this way, and if they are set on attack, they will go down the ramp and up this ramp into the fort, but I don't know what they were set on. Probably move to this side of the gap. 75-60. Carbon team going to be taking this middle outpost right back under their control, which is a lot of outpost shifts, a lot of outpost swinging here in this game, which is definitely what I like to see in a replay submission. ichan clearing that Goliath. So the Carbon team has been able to retake the lead in upkeep, and UncleGrimmley, wow, really low on health. That was a aptly timed retreat at that point, but Gorgons and Goliaths both out on the field. Lots of lower tier tanks over here for the Carbon team, which I would like to see them continue to plow through because, you know, with 1 or 2 distraction units behind that middle outpost clump. Oh no, what's happening? Oh, is it broken? Oh, sadness. Is that broken? Because this is just nonsense. I'm hoping that is lag. I'm going to keep going. UncleGrimmley dealing with these Jackals over here. ichan finishing off the rest of the blue team's units over here, and MysticLlama trying to get the neutralization on the left side. And UncleGrimmley grabbing a creep, trying to do what he can to salvage that battle, and is Overkill back? Oh, just okay. I guess that was lag. That's insane, or whatever that was. Maybe his mouse and keyboard just screwed up like crazy. But it does look like this replay is intact. Thank God. I'm tired of uploading those stupid AirMech games. But yeah, UncleGrimmley and ichan should just plow right forward. I would think that would work extremely well, considering the, you know, a difference in unit count. Still Jackals for MysticLlama, but he is here himself to actually support this and micro those Jackals around. He might want to start moving them now. No, he does not. Does not start to do any surround, which is a little bit crazy, but they are at extremely low health, and actually they could lose this game. The Carbon team could lose this game just from drops and random light unit pushes alone, which is a little bit irresponsible from the Carbon team. Once you see your health get to a certain point, you put a lunchbox up, and you put like a turret down with that socketed, you know what I mean? Something like that. But at this point, it does look like MysticLlama is looking to get the win just from these Jackal pushes, which might be completely, that's definitely completely possible. Again, no lunchbox up for the Carbon team. That's crazy at this point in the game, considering the current status in the game. Overkill dropping a couple Dillos, doing more and more chip damage, whereas the Carbon team gonna be pushing down to bottom instead of forward. This is insanity. This is insanity. They are so far behind. They need to get the finish, and they need to get it now. Either that or cut off the blue team like ridiculously well, which at this point you can't really, especially on a map like Crater where there's so many avenues of attack. So even though they are ahead in you know, outpost count, they are basically one or two well coordinated or well executed drops away from losing this game. Yeah. The Crater is so big that you can just easily miss a mech flyby. The Carbon team moving down to the bottom outpost, and neutralizations happening left and right. These goalies finally hitting the top outpost and gonna roll right through. And if the Carbon team does not react to this pretty much ASAP, they will not be able to survive this goalie push. There are 5 goalies and like 10% health left. And even Longhorn's now panning away. Where is the lunchbox? Where's the lunchbox? These needed to be pushed to fort like 5 minutes ago. And at this point, there are way too many blue units over here, and it does look like MysticLlama will get the surround and will get the final blow here with that Goliath that just got finished off. Blue team, MysticLlama, and Overkill2142 taking this ranked 2v2 win over the Carbon team on Crater, ichan, and UncleGrimmley. That was one of the better games I've seen recently, and thank God it did not break. Whew. Anyway, guys, keep sending your replays in to me. I know that the current status, the current mood of the community has not been the best. I myself have had a lot of trouble just keeping up my enthusiasm to do casts, especially with all these replays breaking. Things will hopefully get better. I'm hoping that Carbon will finish the tournament system soon, so we can actually have more tournaments smoothly without the need for staff. They can be automated, they can just run, and we don't have to have too much downtime in streams, etc., etc. So I'm hoping, but I know that right now it's a little bit gloomy, guys, but hang in there. If you need to, take a break, go play different games, but definitely keep your eye on the community, keep an eye on my channel, and come back and see how things are, you know, a couple weeks or months down the road. Would really appreciate it. This is RUI, and that is Game. See you next time.